Welcome to our weekly energetic forecast for the 8th of November 2021. I almost said 22. I feel like I'm in 2022 already. It's kind of interesting. I think a lot of us have this focus in October, November. We start to really, look to next year. And we're like, wow, it's almost Christmas, and start planning for what we're doing next year and starting to I want to say make big life choices and life direction changes and life decisions. So let me share this and we shall start getting into our weekly intuitive energetic update, that one that I call it. So let me do this for a moment. Curious how you're feeling on our 8th of November. Well, it might be the 7th of November for some of you around the world. Regardless, it's kind of amazing how we're all in different, like when we talk about timelines and time travel and time portals and gateways and that sort of thing. Like when we really think about it, it's already happening. Like it is, like the time travel and the time reality shifts, because we're in different parts of the world, all experiencing different time zones. So the reality of time travel and collapsing timelines or anything to do with time, portals and jump portals and like, do you know what I mean? I'm like, it already exists. We were talking about this in Ear Chakra Consciousness. It was like, we're talking about time travel and portals and stuff, because our ear chakras are the openings to the multi-dimensional universes, right? And so when we look at time travel and time portals, like we're literally looking at transportation that we have currently today. So planes, trains, automobiles. I'm sure there's other things in the making, in a way, already out there, should we say. They're like the way that we time travel. We get on a plane, travel to the other side of the world, we've technically time traveled. So it's interesting when we're looking at like portals and timeline jumping and jumping through portals to different parts of the world or different dimensions. Like technically we already do it, and isn't it interesting how it's already like in our face? But it's just normal reality, and how we can see that other experiences of time, like time travel, teleportation, all of that sort of thing will become normal one day, because technically it's already normal. Like, there was first horse and cart. I'm sure there was more at that time too, and now there's planes and supersonic trains and all kinds of things, right? I don't know why I started talking about that, but anyway, that's what we started talking about. Oh, because talking about different time zones around the world. Amazing. So I'm just gonna bring this up on the screen for the comments, as though I'm here on my computer today. So yes, feeling more optimistic today, it was a dark couple of days, definitely a huge dark couple of days, and how quickly a timeline's shifting very fast. The timelines are shifting very fast at the moment, for sure. And so before I pull cards, the messages that I was getting around like this week's energetic update, like I keep hearing like true colors are being shown. True colors are being shown. You see, whether that's seeing people's true colors, true colors being shown, like the truth is coming out in the world, like the real definite aspects of, I don't know, this week, right? Maybe a lot of truth and revelations are being shown, yeah? Okay. So, and just on those dark sort of portals and dark, like dark waves that have really been hitting hard, like even myself, there's a lot of people feeling depressed and stuff like that. Like, like definitely there's things we can do to not be depressed, but, when there's energetic waves, there's energetic waves. And we have to remind ourselves that, October, November, December can be very dark months in general. We are in Scorpio, so it's a very, it's a very deep sign. It's Scorpio, it's the Scorpio, and it's like, what's underneath the surface? What does the tail give a whip at, should we say? So amongst all of that, there is light in the darkness, because the darker it is, the more the light can reach into the crevices, yeah? So let's have a look for the start of this week. I've got like 50 cards that want to come out. So show appreciation, the start of the week. This is the Indigo, the Indigo Angel Oracle that was calling. So show appreciation. There's the tiger, which is correlated to ruby in the liquid crystals, which is, the tiger. Self-care for middle of the week. And this one, you are understood at the end of the week. So again, I'm hearing like revelations, truths, showing true colors. Maybe it's seeing true colors. And just with this, you are understood at the end of the week. It feels like, I want to say lots of, revelations have been a big thing lately, right? And you are safe, yeah? So it feels like something is shifting, that you're starting to feel more safe in the chaos, more safe in the expansion, if you may, more safe through the changes. Let's have a look for the conscious and unconscious messages for the week. Oh, and that was, I think, where we started talking about the timeline jumping too, because in October, November, we start to have a focus on 2022, what we're doing for 2022, where we're going in 2022, what goals we want to achieve in 2022, reflecting on 2021, seeing what we haven't finished, looking at what we need to do, like there's a lot of sort of, I want to say reorganizing. So when we're talking about timeline jumping and, adjusting to different timelines or choosing different timelines or working with time, I think that October and November really have a strong anchor in it in general, sort of thing. So the bottom card, the unconscious card, is nurture. Now this is interesting because in the middle of the week, the self-care card is there. Yeah, so we've got nurture as the unconscious, what's going on, and then we've got the conscious, all as well. I love Archangel Jeremiah. Hey, if ever you're stressed out, right, anxious, any of the things, I want you to repeat like, all is well, 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 even if it's not well, right? Just in your head, just start thinking all is well, 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 like over and over and over and over and over again. Like just that's all you think, right? It's a mantra. It can really shift a lot of energy. It can really like start to pull you back up the spiral rather than going down further in the spiral as well. So everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to, with hidden blessings that you soon will understand. And sometimes we need to break down into tears for us to feel the everything as well. Yeah. Doreen says she did her reorganization. Yes, awesome, right? And so it's interesting, like this show appreciation. So I feel like at this start, and I know a lot of you have said as well that you're already starting to feel a lot better after the dark waves that came through over the week, right? And interesting on this card, there's a lot of light blue clouds, yeah, and that's our throat, and that's the truth. So just like the all is well, I feel like there's a shift and or choose to make a shift to focusing on the good. Yeah, show appreciation. Write a gratitude list. Something that's really simple and really powerful is writing 10 key points that you're grateful for before you go to sleep. And or, as the first thing you do is when you wake up. If you do it twice a day, it's amazing. If you do it once a day, awesome. It's a bit like someone posted in my group this morning in the Reality Awareness Support Group, which is my free self-help group on Facebook. So you can search that for Reality Awareness Support Group on Facebook. And they said, I want to start doing yoga. What's the best time of day to do yoga? And I said, any time that works for you is the best time to do yoga. Because any time of day doing yoga has benefits of its own accord, whether you do it in the morning, lunchtime, nighttime, like they all have benefits, yeah? And the thing about not setting okay, you have to do yoga at like 6 a.m. every morning, while there is amazing benefits for having a really strict discipline routine like that, if you've got a life to live and you've got family to care for, etc., that doesn't always happen. And then it gets past 6 a.m. and I'm like, oh shit, we missed our yoga this morning. And then we feel worse for not doing it because we've put this self-imposed rule that we have to do it at 6 a.m. in the morning. If you give yourself the time and space to do it at any time of the day, right, and you miss your 6 a.m., you know, time frame that you'd put on yourself, then when the kids go to school or whatever they do, then you can do it when you get home, right? And so any time of day is the best time to do yoga. Any time of day is the best time to write a gratitude journal, okay? So like I said, writing 10 key points before you go to bed is very powerful, but if you don't do it before you go to bed, do it when you get up in the morning, do it at lunchtime, I don't care, just make sure you get it done, right? 10 key points is so simple and it's so powerful, yeah? So show appreciation. So this is the start of the week. And like I said, the reason I'm bringing this up is because of the blue clouds, is very throat chakra. I feel like the voicing of your appreciation, the voicing of your gratitude, all is well. Archangel Jeremiel, which is seeing the truth. This is seeing the reality, yeah? So Archangel Jeremiel is about seeing the reality of the situation. He helps you to see the truth of the situation. So I feel like... you know, like he says here, everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to, with hidden blessings that you'll soon understand. The faster you can move yourself into an appreciation mode is simply, right, there's so many things you can do for a gratitude journal. This is something to get started. It's something that's easy to do in your busy schedule. Is literally write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm grateful for the sunshine. I'm grateful that I could sleep in a bit longer this morning. I'm grateful for blah, 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 blah. Like just whatever comes to mind. I'm grateful for my cup of tea. I'm grateful for shopping, whatever it is. Like, just know that those little things that you start to write down, minimum of 10. Of course, you want to keep writing more some days. Do that, right? And then on the days you don't feel like it, just do the 10. Yeah? It starts to shift something. The voicing of the words, the blue, the throat chakra, this starts to bring it into reality. This starts to materialize your words into form. This starts to bring life to your life. Almost life to your life, right? It brings light to your life. It brings life to your life because you're starting to focus on the good things, the things we appreciate, right? Now, sometimes we have down days and they're okay to feel down. Okay, I don't want you to like try and like force override it. Of course, like starting to think positive when you're in a down state is highly beneficial as long as you're not suppressing your feelings, yeah? The thing about having an appreciation journal or gratitude journal or starting to write positive things down is, number one, what you're focusing on, the universe will bring you more about. The more things you start to appreciate, the more the universe will show you things to appreciate. The more the universe will bring you things to appreciate. Why? Because you're focusing on it. You know the whole thing. Like, you know, you go to like, okay, let's like focus on a red car. Like, you're going to see red cars everywhere. Whereas like last week, you didn't even think about red cars and you didn't see any, right? The more you start to focus on it, the more that you will be focusing on it. Yeah. In that, it's also training your brain to look for that. I was having a conversation with a client just last week. I'm like, humans are trained to be negative. Like, you know, she was saying, it's like, oh, it's because of all my trauma. And I'm like, yes and no. Like, in a general basis, humans are trained through schooling, through all the systems to be negative. Like, it's just how we're trained, and we can untrain and retrain ourselves, right? In the middle of the week is the self-care card, like I said, yeah? So, and you can see she's kind of, I don't know, she's like drinking from the water, yeah? So maybe you need to drink more water. Maybe there's a different sort of water you need to drink. Maybe you're needing to nourish yourself in a different way, whether that's food, you know, health routine, like a self-care routine in some way that might be different to what you've ever done before because she's drinking the water. I'm sensing that there will be some sort of change to the way that you take care of yourself, or maybe you're ready to, maybe you're stepping up, maybe you're doing that in a different way, maybe you're receiving more support because the nourishment, you know, like the big pool of water is like you need more support or something like that, because the underlying unconscious, subconscious message this week as well is also the nurture. So you've got, yes, you know that everything's going to be okay even though you don't know how, and then you've also got this subconscious sort of thing running this week around, okay, I actually need to take better care of myself. I actually need to, you know, put these into practice. And I feel like there is a shift happening where you feel ready to implement different things this week. It's kind of like you've been preparing, you've been cleaning out, you've been doing all the things, and now you're like, okay, cool, now I'm like, I feel ready. Yeah, we definitely have to feel ready to make changes, and I feel that this week that is coming for you. Also in the you are understood, and this is at the end of the week, right? And this is where I feel like the shifts that you make in the middle of the week are supporting this you are understood at the end of the week. It's almost like the shifts that you make for yourself, you start to understand yourself better, which I know is like a no-brainer. But I think when we're in a place where we're coming out of trauma or coming out of old patterns or we're coming out of walking away from whatever it is, there is a place where we just don't feel like we've got the right support. We don't feel nourished. Yeah, just drinking the water. Don't feel like we've got the food for our soul that we need, right? When we're in unhealthy situations or situations that are just not in alignment anymore. And so when we start to take action on this, yeah, the nurturing, we know that all is well, and we're starting to really feel in a place where we can step into doing this on greater and deeper levels. We feel understood because why? Because we're starting to care for ourselves. This is going to bring even more alignment into your life, even more people who get you, people who understand you. And you feel safe for this. This is the most important piece about making any changes in your life, right? People have to feel safe, right? At the moment, there's a lot of people who believe in the government because ever since they're a baby, the government has, quote unquote, taken care of them. Subconsciously, subliminally, in all different ways and programming through all different things, we've learned that these outside structures are safe for us, right? And I feel that there's a shift around an internal safety where you're choosing to nourish yourself, support yourself, actually take care of yourself, right? This is nurturing the inner child. Maybe you have been doing inner child work. Maybe you need to amp that up a little bit, because inner child, if you're not feeling safe in the world, it's inner child who's not feeling safe, right? Same as if you're feeling alone, it's inner child who's feeling alone. The you are safe, I feel, is like you're really starting to come into that. And yes, the unicorns, I saw someone say something about unicorns, I thought. So the unicorns, this isn't the unicorn deck, it's just that there's a couple of unicorns that have come out in this reading. And the unicorns are all about your magic. The unicorns are all about the beauty of life and the magic and the mystery. And this is what's tapping you back into when you're nourishing yourself in the ways that you know how to for yourself. And finally you're ready and you feel safe enough to make these changes, yeah? You feel understood because your soul, you're listening to your soul, you're listening to your intuition, you're coming into greater and greater levels of alignment, and that in itself makes you feel safe. Yeah, the things that make you feel unsafe in the world is because you're not listening to your intuition. You're going further and further away from your intuition, and the gap in between you and your intuition's over here on the path going, this is the right path for you, and you're like over here, like no wonder you feel scared, right? So when we listen to our intuition, we naturally feel safe, yeah, and we naturally feel understood by the world, by other people, because we're listening to ourselves. It's kind of ironic, right? The bottom card of the other deck is the moon cycles, Archangel Haniel. So Archangel Haniel is all about the reflection, all about the shadows, all about the triggers, all about the people that are really triggering you, or, like, and you have to remember there's, as I always say, there's a time and a place for a trigger, for for doing the shadow work, and then there's a time and a place for a trigger where it's just time to get out of that situation, right? And I feel like this week as well, you will be showing that, and that's why I keep getting that message around revelations, showing true colors, like really coming into alignment of like what you resonate with, what you don't resonate with, like, and this is the cycles, yeah? So notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations, and capitalize on these cycles. So this is again really coming into trusting the flow, understanding the flow, checking in with your rhythms, with your cycles, supporting yourself more and more with these rhythms, cycles, and flows, yeah? And that also helps you to feel more safe in the world. That activates your magic because you're understanding more about yourself, your reality, life in general, honoring the cycles, honoring the ups and downs. You feel depressed, you've been taking care of yourself, good. But, you can still take care of yourself in the depression, so to speak, right? These are the waves, the cycles of life. When we learn to ride them, we take back our power, and we really come into a place where we can do anything, even ride on magical unicorns' backs, right? Yeah, awesome. I bought a unicorn journal last week. Of course you did. They're so special. Unicorns are magic. And Deanne says, so interesting you're talking about timelines. I've also started my gratitude list every morning. Yeah, I don't know. We just started talking about timelines at the start of this live stream. So timelines, jumping through portals, teleporting. I don't know why that came out this week, but maybe, oh, that's right. I do remember again. Because around this time of year, we're thinking about 2022. It's almost like we're there. Like, I don't know how many times in Novembers that I write, you know, over the years, I end up writing 2022 or like the next year. I'm like, oh, hang on, it's still 2021. Like, we're kind of like already there. Yeah. So that is our weekly energetic forecast. This week coming up, we're starting on Saturday, Australian Eastern Standard Time, so it might be Friday your time, and we're starting online presence. So if you're wanting to take your gifts, skills, abilities and put it all together and start your presence online, this is the 4-week introductory starter course for you to learn all of the different pieces, how I've done it, what worked for me, what didn't work for me, and I'll put it all on the table so you can go, yes, this makes sense. Okay, and okay, now I understand how to do it, and then you can go and do it. So that starts this week. It's a 4-week introductory starter course, online presence. The link is in the title of this live stream. You can also find it on my page. If you've got any questions about it, send me a message. Have a beautiful week, and I shall see you